There is a magnetic power within every woman that, when fully understood and embraced, draws the world toward her effortlessly. It is not simply in appearances, nor in fleeting charm, but in the subtle energies, behaviors, and inner strengths that radiate authenticity and confidence. Many believe attraction is something to be forced, rehearsed, or manipulated, yet the truth is far more profound. Attraction begins within, in the quiet awareness of one's own value, beauty, and light. It begins with the way a woman carries herself, with the tone of her voice, the gentleness in her gestures, the warmth in her smile, and the depth in her gaze. These are the unspoken languages that captivate naturally. There are 10 secret qualities that, when nurtured and expressed, awaken a natural allure that cannot be ignored. First, there is confidence. Confidence is far more than arrogance or self-importance. It is the calm knowledge of one's worth and the assurance that one is deserving of respect and love. A woman who moves through the world with confidence does not seek validation. She commands it without effort. It is in the way she walks, how she speaks, how she meets challenges with grace and composure. Confidence allows her to hold her ground without rigidity, to assert her boundaries without fear, and to shine brightly in spaces where uncertainty often resides. This magnetism of confidence is irresistible because it signals stability, self-respect, and a life lived with intentionality. Second, kindness is a force more powerful than most realize. Genuine kindness flows naturally and affects those around her deeply. It is in the small gestures, the willingness to listen, the warmth of a touch, the words of encouragement, the way she lifts others without expecting anything in return. A kind woman creates a space of safety and ease, inviting openness and connection. Kindness is attractive because it embodies empathy, compassion, and a generous spirit, all qualities that resonate profoundly on a human level. When kindness is authentic, it leaves a lingering impression that cannot be faked or forgotten. Third, a sense of humor holds a unique and enchanting power. Laughter is a bridge between souls, a spark that ignites joy and a reminder of life's lighter moments. A woman who can laugh, who appreciates humor in herself and the world, exudes a carefree energy that is magnetic. This does not mean she must be constantly joking or performing. Rather, it is the subtle ability to find delight and amusement, even in small everyday experiences. Humor is attractive because it signals emotional intelligence, adaptability, and a capacity to navigate life's challenges with grace. It allows connection without pretense, inviting others to share in moments of joy and lightness. Fourth, intelligence captivates in ways that are timeless. This is not merely academic knowledge or learned facts. It is the spark of curiosity, the ability to think critically, to engage thoughtfully, and to share ideas with clarity and insight. A woman whose mind is active and engaged invites admiration and interest effortlessly. Intelligence is attractive because it signifies independence, depth, and the potential for rich conversation and meaningful connection. It is the ability to observe, reflect, and express oneself confidently while embracing the complexity of the world around her. Fifth, authenticity is a secret magnetism that cannot be imitated. Authenticity is the courage to be oneself without masks or pretenses, to embrace imperfections and vulnerabilities as natural aspects of life. A woman who is authentic does not bend to fit expectations. She lives according to her values and principles, embracing her unique identity. Authenticity attracts because it signals honesty, integrity, and self-acceptance. It allows others to feel comfortable, unguarded, and inspired by the courage to be real. In a world of imitation and performance, authenticity shines like a rare jewel. Sixth, a passionate spirit radiates irresistible energy. Passion is the fire within, the pursuit of dreams, interests, and values with enthusiasm and dedication. A woman who is passionate brings life to everything she touches, whether it is her career, hobbies, relationships, or causes she believes in. Passionate energy is contagious and draws attention naturally because it signals vitality, purpose, and ambition. It is the thrill of witnessing someone fully alive, moving through life with a sense of purpose and excitement that inspires admiration and fascination. Seventh, emotional intelligence is a subtle but profound form of attraction. This is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in oneself and others with wisdom and sensitivity. A woman with emotional intelligence navigates interactions with grace, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. She listens deeply, empathizes, and communicates effectively, creating harmony and trust in her connections. Emotional intelligence is attractive because it reflects maturity, stability, and the capacity to nurture relationships with understanding and care. It is the ability to hold space for others without losing oneself in the process. Eighth, elegance and poise communicate power without words. This is the way a woman carries herself, how she gestures, how she interacts with the world with dignity and self-respect. Elegance is not defined by wealth or fashion. It is a quality of movement, speech, and presence. Poise under pressure, composure in challenging situations, and a graceful approach to life's uncertainties create a quiet magnetism that draws attention naturally. Elegance is attractive because it embodies refinement, confidence, and an unspoken sense of sophistication that resonates deeply with those who encounter it. Ninth, resilience is a hidden charm that captivates profoundly. Life presents obstacles, disappointments, and challenges, yet a woman who meets these with strength, courage, and determination exudes an enduring allure. Resilience is not only about survival, it is about transformation, the ability to grow through hardship and maintain hope and optimism in the face of adversity. This strength inspires admiration and respect because it reflects inner power, adaptability, and a commitment to thriving despite difficulties. Resilience communicates that she is unshakable in her values and capable of creating stability and security in her life. Finally, self-love is the cornerstone of natural attraction. A woman who loves herself radiates confidence, joy, and acceptance. Self-love is expressed in the care she takes of her body, mind, and spirit, in the choices she makes to honor her needs, and in the boundaries she sets to protect her peace. Self-love attracts because it signals wholeness, contentment, and the capacity to give and receive love authentically. When a woman loves herself, she does not rely on others for validation. She emanates a magnetic energy that draws connection effortlessly. It is the quiet, unwavering knowledge that she is enough as she is, and that fulfillment begins within. When these 10 qualities converge, they create an irresistible aura that transcends superficial attraction. It is not about manipulation, performance, or trying to be someone else. It is about embracing one's own essence, nurturing strengths, and allowing one's natural light to shine. Confidence, kindness, humor, intelligence, authenticity, passion, emotional intelligence, elegance, resilience, and self-love work together harmoniously to create a presence that is magnetic, compelling, and unforgettable. Each quality reinforces the other, building a foundation of inner beauty that radiates outward, touching lives and creating meaningful connections effortlessly. Living with these qualities requires conscious practice and reflection. It requires daily awareness of how one speaks to oneself, how one responds to challenges, and how one engages with the world. It is about aligning actions with values, choosing positivity over negativity, and embracing growth over stagnation. The cultivation of these attributes is not a one-time effort, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery and empowerment. As each quality develops, it becomes part of the natural expression of being, a reflection of the inner strength and beauty that exists within every woman. The power of attraction lies not in external appearances or temporary gestures, but in the deep, resonant qualities that define character, presence, and spirit. By embodying these 10 qualities, a woman steps into her fullest potential, radiating energy that naturally draws others toward her. Attraction becomes effortless because it is no longer about seeking approval or chasing attention. It is about being fully alive, fully aware, and fully aligned with one's own truth. The energy of authenticity, confidence, kindness, humor, intelligence, passion, emotional intelligence, elegance, resilience, and self-love creates an enduring magnetism that inspires admiration, connection, and deep respect. This natural allure is not something to imitate or acquire through external means. It is cultivated from within through self-awareness, reflection, and intentional living. Every choice, every action, every thought contributes to the growth of these qualities. By embracing them, a woman becomes a living example of empowerment, grace, and magnetism. She attracts not because she seeks to control or manipulate, but because she embodies the essence of what it means to be fully herself. This is the kind of attraction that is enduring, genuine, and transformative. As these qualities grow, they create ripple effects in every area of life. Relationships deepen and become more meaningful, opportunities arise more naturally, and interactions are enriched with understanding, respect, and joy. The impact is not limited to romantic attraction. It extends to friendships, professional relationships, and every sphere in which connection and influence matter. A woman who embodies these qualities becomes a beacon of light, attracting positive energy, meaningful engagement, and a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Self-love is not a luxury or a fleeting concept. It is the foundation upon which every meaningful connection, every authentic achievement, and every moment of true joy is built. To nurture self-love is to recognize and honor your inherent worth, to see yourself not as a reflection of others' opinions or validation, but as a whole and complete being in your own right. It is to embrace the truth that you are deserving of respect, happiness, and abundance simply because you exist. Many spend a lifetime seeking approval, measuring themselves against impossible standards, or bending themselves to fit what they believe others desire. Yet, the most profound magnetism, the deepest fulfillment, and the truest strength come from cultivating a love for yourself that is unwavering and unconditional. This love is not selfish. It is the root from which all other forms of love, connection, and personal power emerge. Nurturing self-love begins with awareness. It requires observing your thoughts, your habits, and the ways in which you treat yourself. It is noticing the critical voice that often speaks from a place of fear or past conditioning and choosing to respond with kindness instead of judgment. Self-love is recognizing that mistakes, flaws, and imperfections are not signs of inadequacy but essential aspects of being human. It is learning to treat yourself with the same compassion, patience, and understanding that you extend to those you care about. When you begin to observe yourself without harsh criticism, you lay the groundwork for an authentic and lasting love that does not depend on external circumstances. Honoring your worth means setting clear intentions about how you allow others to treat you. It is understanding that your time, energy, and emotions are precious resources that must be protected. A woman who values herself does not settle for disrespect, neglect, or manipulation. She sets boundaries that communicate her standards, expectations, and limits, and she enforces them consistently and gracefully. Boundaries are not walls, they are a declaration of self-respect, a way of communicating to the world that she knows her value and will not compromise it. By creating these boundaries, she cultivates environments that nurture her growth, happiness, and emotional well-being. She attracts relationships and opportunities that honor her worth and releases those that do not. To nurture self-love is also to prioritize self-care in all its dimensions, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. It is choosing nourishment over neglect, rest over overextension, and healing over suppression. This means listening to the body's signals, feeding it with healthy food, engaging in movement that brings joy and vitality, and resting when necessary. It means tending to emotional needs, expressing feelings honestly, and seeking support when needed. It means cultivating a mind that is enriched with positive, empowering thoughts, avoiding destructive comparisons, and challenging limiting beliefs. Spiritually, self-love may manifest as connection to purpose, mindfulness, or practices that align the inner self with higher values. Each act of self-care is a tangible expression of self-love, reinforcing the understanding that you are deserving of attention, compassion, and nurturing. Setting healthy boundaries is inseparable from self-love. It is the practical application of honoring your worth in every area of life. Boundaries define what is acceptable and unacceptable, what you are willing to tolerate, and what you are not. They are the structures that protect your energy, time, and emotional health, ensuring that you do not overextend, overcommit, or sacrifice your well-being for the comfort of others. Healthy boundaries allow for mutual respect in relationships, fostering balance, clarity, and trust. They are not rigid or punitive. They are flexible yet firm, clear yet compassionate. Boundaries communicate to others that you value yourself, which in turn encourages others to value and respect you in return. Another essential aspect of self-love is self-awareness. This is the continuous process of understanding your needs, desires, strengths, and weaknesses. Self-awareness allows you to recognize when situations, relationships, or habits no longer serve you, and it gives you the courage to make necessary changes. It involves reflection, honesty, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself without judgment. By being aware of who you are and what you deserve, you strengthen your ability to make choices that align with your authentic self. Self-love thrives when you know yourself deeply and refuse to compromise that knowledge in pursuit of acceptance or approval. A woman who nurtures self-love embraces her individuality unapologetically. She understands that comparing herself to others diminishes her energy and clouds her judgment. Instead, she celebrates her unique qualities, talents, and perspectives, recognizing that her differences are her strength. Self-love allows her to walk confidently in her own path, guided by her intuition and values, rather than being swayed by societal pressures or the expectations of others. She cultivates pride in her achievements, no matter how small, and learns to forgive herself for setbacks, understanding that growth is a lifelong journey. This deep appreciation for herself creates an aura of authenticity, confidence, and magnetism that cannot be replicated or imitated. An integral part of self-love is learning to say no without guilt. Many women have been conditioned to prioritize others' needs over their own, to feel responsible for the emotions or satisfaction of those around them. True self-love requires courage to assert one's needs, to decline what diminishes energy or joy, and to create space for personal growth. Saying no is not selfish. It is an affirmation of your value and a commitment to honoring your priorities. Every time you say no to something that does not align with your worth, you create room for opportunities, relationships, and experiences that truly serve and uplift you. This practice strengthens boundaries, nurtures self-respect, and reinforces the understanding that your life is yours to design intentionally. Self-love also involves embracing imperfections with grace and humor. No one is flawless, and the relentless pursuit of perfection often leads to frustration and self-criticism. A woman who loves herself accepts that flaws are natural and that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. She allows herself to make mistakes, to stumble, and to learn without harsh judgment or shame. By treating herself with the same kindness she would offer a dear friend, she nurtures resilience, confidence, and emotional stability. This acceptance of imperfection fosters authenticity and freedom, enabling her to live boldly and without fear of judgment, which in turn enhances her inner magnetism. Nurturing self-love is also about investing in personal growth. It is the commitment to continually improve, evolve, and expand one's horizons, not because of inadequacy, but because of a desire to honor one's potential. This includes learning new skills, exploring new ideas, cultivating mindfulness, and fostering emotional intelligence. Personal growth strengthens self-esteem, deepens self-understanding, and enhances the ability to engage meaningfully with the world. A woman who prioritizes her growth communicates through her presence that she values herself and her journey, inspiring admiration, respect, and genuine connection. The practice of gratitude is a powerful component of self-love. Recognizing the blessings, strengths, and achievements in life shifts focus from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude encourages a positive mindset, reduces feelings of lack or inadequacy, and reinforces a sense of worthiness. When a woman acknowledges her accomplishments and appreciates her journey, she strengthens her connection with herself and cultivates a mindset of empowerment. This perspective naturally attracts positive energy, opportunities, and relationships that resonate with her elevated sense of self-worth. Gratitude reminds her daily that she is deserving of love, joy, and fulfillment. Another dimension of self-love is embracing autonomy. It is the understanding that your happiness, decisions, and sense of purpose ultimately rest within you. Self-love empowers a woman to trust her judgment, make independent choices, and take responsibility for her life without reliance on external validation. Autonomy fosters strength, resilience, and clarity, allowing her to navigate relationships and life situations with confidence. By embracing autonomy, she communicates that she values her freedom, her voice, and her life's trajectory, which naturally inspires respect and admiration from those around her. Nurturing self-love also involves healing past wounds and releasing toxic influences. Emotional baggage, negative patterns, and unhealed trauma can cloud self-perception and undermine worth. Self-love encourages confronting these challenges, seeking support when necessary, and practicing forgiveness for oneself and others. Letting go of resentment, guilt, and self-blame frees energy, restores peace, and reinforces self-respect. This healing process strengthens boundaries, clarifies priorities, and deepens the connection to one's authentic self. A woman who prioritizes healing communicates through her presence that she values herself, her well-being, and her future. A vital aspect of self-love is celebrating achievements and progress, no matter how incremental. Many women diminish their accomplishments, attributing success to luck or external factors rather than recognizing their own effort and skill. Self-love teaches acknowledgement of hard work, perseverance, and growth. By celebrating milestones, she reinforces confidence, pride, and motivation to continue evolving. Each acknowledgement of success, no matter how small, acts as a reinforcement of worth and capability, strengthening the foundation of self-love and inspiring continued pursuit of personal fulfillment. Nurturing self-love is also expressed through maintaining meaningful connections that honor and support growth. Surrounding oneself with people who respect boundaries, celebrate successes, and encourage authenticity amplifies self-worth. Healthy relationships serve as mirrors, reflecting value, potential, and beauty, while toxic or draining relationships can erode confidence and energy. Choosing connections consciously and nurturing those that uplift rather than diminish reinforces self-love and strengthens resilience. It is an ongoing practice of discernment, ensuring that interactions contribute positively to emotional and spiritual well-being. Self-love cultivates courage, the courage to pursue dreams, to speak truth, and to embrace vulnerability without fear. It is the confidence to express desires, assert needs, and take risks aligned with personal values. This courage arises from knowing one's worth and trusting that life rewards authenticity, integrity, and perseverance. When a woman moves through life with this courage rooted in self-love, she radiates a presence that is compelling, inspiring, and magnetic, inviting connection and admiration naturally. Courage born of self-love is steady, enduring, and transformative, shaping a life lived fully and intentionally. It also encourages mindfulness, the conscious awareness of thoughts, feelings, and actions. Mindfulness allows a woman to recognize patterns that undermine self-esteem, to respond rather than react, and to choose behaviors that align with her values. Being present in each moment nurtures appreciation for oneself and life, fostering clarity, peace, and groundedness. Mindfulness reinforces self-love by ensuring that decisions, words, and actions reflect intentionality, respect for self, and alignment with one's highest good. It creates a life of coherence, balance, and harmony where self-worth is affirmed in every moment. The act of nurturing self-love transforms the relationship with oneself from one of judgment to one of partnership. It is a daily practice of honoring needs, asserting boundaries, embracing imperfections, celebrating growth, and committing to well-being. Self-love is dynamic, evolving as life unfolds, and requires consistent attention and intention. It empowers a woman to live boldly, love fully, and engage meaningfully with the world. By nurturing self-love, she becomes the architect of her life, designing a reality that